Hello, everyone. Gio here from Fandom United, and welcome back to my experiment that I'm trying out where I recap the day's biggest news, rumors, leaks, etc. Those of you who have been watching my channel know that I've done that every Sunday in the past where I recap the week that was. But this is an opportunity for me to talk about some of the things that I'm interested in quicker and get you some information and hopefully a good conversation. So let's get started. Today is June 30th, Wednesday, and it was quite a day. Some leaks happened, as you can see on the bottom right of your screen, and we're going to start with that. So I don't know how this happened. I don't know how it continues to keep happening, but there were leaks regarding DC's upcoming event film, The Flash, a movie that will change the entire DC universe as we know it, for better or worse. And some concept art has been leaked. And from what I'm understanding, this was meant to be seen at DC Fandom in October. And what you're seeing is two different moments in the Flash movie. Again, it's concept art that gives you an idea of what we can expect. To the left is the Flash in his new costume that was revealed last year at DC Fandom, as well as Michael Keaton's Batman off to the side and the far back. And then there was something that was covered up that said spoilers. So there's a character in this shot. Again, it's concept art that we don't know about. I'm curious who you guys think it is in the comments. Let me know. But the character who's sitting on the ground, we believe, is Sasha Calle's Supergirl. And this shot reminds me of the Flashpoint paradox, where this Kryptonian was left inside a locked vault prison away from the sun, and we know Kryptonians get their power from the sun. So for me, this is a familiar shot. So it's definitely Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and from what I'm hearing, this could be a part of the Tim Burton universe. So Sasha Calle's Supergirl could be the Kryptonian for that world. And to the right is Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, looking at Supergirl, who's standing on the edge and what looks to be on the roof of Wayne Mansion, Michael Keaton's mansion. So it's interesting. We don't know too much about the storyline and how it will affect both the main DCEU and the multiverse that they're setting up. There's also a video circling the web that you could probably find on Twitter that pretty much has Ezra Miller and director Andy Muschietti talking about the concept art, talking about the movie. Again, it's something that I think they meant to show at DC Fandom. And if you look hard enough on Twitter, you could find the video. I won't play it for you because I don't want to get taken down or anything. But those are my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think about the concept art, about this movie in general. This is a movie that is dividing the DC fandom for a number of reasons. Let's hope that it respects the Snyderverse, a verse that a lot of us want to see continue, especially after how this movie did and how amazing it was. So let me know your thoughts down below. Moving on to Quentin Tarantino. Yesterday I talked about his conversation with Joe Rogan, talking about his whole filmography, and the conversation went towards Kill Bill Volume 3. Quentin Tarantino has been talking about this for a number of years. He confirmed that he is only doing one more movie and then retiring, making it 10 movies in his filmography. So that 10th movie is going to be a very important one, and something that a lot of fans want to see is Kill Bill Volume 3. And Quentin Tarantino talked about that, and he revealed that if he were to do a Volume 3, he would cast Maya Hawke, the real-life daughter of Uma Thurman, as the daughter of Beatrix Kiddo, Uma Thurman's character from Kill Bill. Now, that decision might rub some people off the wrong way, but Hawke does have several credits. She was in Stranger Things, as well as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, granted a small role, but still roles that help create a foundation for her acting skills. And if it means that casting Uma Thurman's daughter means Uma Thurman is likely to return to the role, if this movie happens, then I'm all for it. I don't think anybody should have a problem with it. You never doubt Quentin Tarantino. He's one of those filmmakers that, regardless of how the times have changed, it has not stopped him from doing his own thing. But to get back to Kill Bill Volume 3, Quentin Tarantino had this to say on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think it's just revisiting the characters 20 years later and just imagining the bride and her daughter Bibi having 20 years of peace, and then that peace is shattered. And now the bride and Bibi are on the run, and just the idea of being able to cast Uma and cast her daughter Maya in the thing would be fucking exciting. He went on to say Ellie Driver is still out there. Sophie Fatale got her arm cut off, but she's still out there. They all got Bill's money. Actually, Gogo had a twin sister, Shiaki, and so her twin sister could show up. If anybody knows how to make Kill Bill Volume 3 happen, it's Quentin Tarantino. He knows the two movies, he knows the characters, and I think it's something that we usually, are nervous about a sequel or another installment of a franchise so many years later. But Tarantino has been very passionate about Kill Bill in particular, and a world that he wants to revisit. So he has my vote of confidence if that's the movie that he will do. He's also talked about doing a Star Trek movie, some other projects. But for myself, I want to see Kill Bill Volume 3. I think that would be a good way to end his filmography with arguably the biggest movie in his entire catalog, at least when it comes to commercial success. So you guys leave me your thoughts on Kill Bill Volume 3. What do you think about the idea of Quentin Tarantino casting Uma Thurman's daughter for the role? Uma Thurman returning, revisiting this world, characters who may have survived. I'm curious to know what you guys think down below. Before I move on, there's something that I saw online I thought was a pretty cool theory. So if you've seen Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, this is a minor spoiler, but here it is. Steve Buscemi recently commented on the theory that his character, Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs, got away and is secretly hiding in Pulp Fiction as the Buddy Holly server from the scene between Uma Thurman and John Travolta. I think that's pretty funny. It's a cool way to tie in those two movies. Remember, Quentin Tarantino wrote the character of Vincent Vega initially for Michael Madsen, but it went to John Travolta. And then there was a thought that Vincent Vega and Michael Madsen's character from Reservoir Dogs are brothers, and there was a possibility of a spinoff happening. But this is a cool little Easter egg, something that further ties those movies together. Just something I thought I'd bring up. Huge Quentin Tarantino fans, I'm sure you guys all are. But let's move on to the next topic. According to Variety, Black Panther Wakanda Forever has officially started production. This is a project that a lot of us are curious about. It's been revealed that Kevin Feige and Marvel are not going to recast the T'Challa character after Chadwick Boseman's passing. And so they're moving forward with this. And I'm curious, just like the rest of you, to see how they execute this story, given they're not going to recast T'Challa and there will be no CGI to bring the actor back in the movie. But here's a quote from Kevin Feige that further hints at the way they're approaching this difficult production. Kevin Feige said, "It's clearly very emotional without Chad, but everyone is also very excited to bring the world of Wakanda back to the public and back to the fans. We're going to do it in a way that would make Chad proud." Black Panther Wakanda Forever releases on July 8th, 2022. I've said this on a number of streams. I'm very curious to see how they handle the void left behind of the T'Challa character. If it were up to me, I know that the multiverse is opening up, and if there was a way to bring back Killmonger's character, let's say his Wakanda was destroyed and he was brought into the main MCU timeline and sees a Wakanda that is alive but without a king, you can maybe tie Eric Killmonger back into the story to where he becomes maybe not the king of Wakanda, but somebody who is important, somebody who helps lead the way in the absence of the king, along with the sister Shuri. I think that would be pretty cool, but that's just my opinion. One of 100 options that they could go. So in Kevin Feige and in Ryan Coogler, we trust. Let's hope that this project is done well and something that a lot of fans can be excited about. So let's move on to another franchise that has a major character missing, and that is Brian O'Connor, played by the late Paul Walker. It has been revealed that Justin Lin and the franchise want to bring the Brian O'Connor character back on screen in the next Fast and Furious movie, Fast 10 and possibly 11, the last two of the franchise. Let's read the quote first, and then I'll give my opinion. Here's director Justin Lin, and he says, obviously, Paul and his character Brian are the soul and heart of how we've moved forward. Bringing him back is something I think about every day as we near the end of the franchise. It's a conversation I'm having. I think about this possibly every day. All right, so I'm going to get into some spoilers for Fast 9. If you haven't seen the movie, you can mute me for the next minute, or you can just come back another time after you've seen the movie. But basically, the way Fast 9 ended, Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor character is coming back. The movie ends with his Nissan Skyline pulling up to the Toretto house, but we don't see Paul Walker, the Brian O'Connor character, but it's heavily hinted that he will be returning in Fast 10 and 11. I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right because of how Furious 7 ended. I thought that was a beautiful ending. When it comes to this subject, I'm with a lot of you fans out there. I don't think they should bring the Paul Walker character back. It could further dilute what was done so beautifully in Furious 7, but it seems like they're pretty confident about bringing him back, at least Justin Lin and franchise producer Vin Diesel. If you've seen my review for Fast 9, you know how I feel about the franchise. If I wasn't so invested in the 20 years of Fast and Furious, I would not watch Fast 10 and 11, but I want to finish this franchise. I want to see where it goes, and only because I'm invested so much. So you guys let me know your thoughts about Fast 10 and 11, possibly bringing Paul Walker back to life, at least on the big screen. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But let's move on to another topic here, and this will be the last one of today. This one hits close to home a little bit, and I'll explain why. Nick Offerman, best known from Parks and Rec, has officially joined the cast of the upcoming Amazon series reboot of A League of Their Own. And here's what we know so far. This comes from Deadline. The hour-long series from co-creators Abby Jacobson and Will Graham and Sony Pictures TV is described as a fresh approach to Penny Marshall's 1992 Columbia Pictures movie of the same name about a real-life All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. The reboot will follow new characters who embody the spirit of a generation of women who dream to play professional baseball. According to the streamer, A League of Their Own will take a deeper look at race and sexuality, following the journey of a whole new ensemble of characters as they carve out their own paths towards the field, both in the league and outside of it. Nick Offerman will join Jacobson and Shantae Adams, along with Darcy Carden, Gimsola Ikumelo, Kelly McCormick, Roberto Colindrez, and Priscilla Delago. No word on when this series will release. They haven't started filming yet, but they're putting their cast together, and they seem confident in the direction that they want to take this reboot. I grew up in a house with one TV, and I was raised mostly by my aunts, and they were all about this movie growing up. And so we watched it so many times, and I'm thankful because today I love the movie a lot more than I did back then. It's a beautiful story. I love Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell. It was a fun cast and a fun movie with a lot of heart, but there were some emotional moments that were taking place. I mean, on one hand, the idea of an all-female professional baseball league was laughed at by a lot of people around the world. And then they started taking it seriously. But then you had the cloud over the character's head about these professional baseball ladies and their husbands fighting the war overseas. And there was drama. There was a lot of emotion. I absolutely love this movie, not just as a baseball sports movie, but just a movie in general. And if you guys haven't seen A League of Their Own, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a movie that still holds up today. and presents issues that are still relevant in today's world. So check that out. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. That's the daily news recap for June 30th, Wednesday. You guys leave your thoughts down below on the topics. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. I'm always open to constructive criticism and to continue the conversation. Before I go, I will plug a few videos that I have up on the channel. My Fast 9 spoilers review is on the channel right now. My facial expression says it all, but if you've seen the movie, check out my spoilers review. Also, if you're a fan of Batman The Long Halloween, Part 1 is available to purchase digitally. I saw it, and a buddy of mine reviewed it. We deep dived into the story. I'm a huge fan of the comics, the 13-issue series, and this movie is one of the best DC animated movies they've ever done. So check those videos out. They're on the channel. Thank you so much for your time and for your subscriptions. Gio here from Fandom United. Until tomorrow, you guys take care.